Welcome to Morpeth, population 1,400. Now, it's hard to believe that back in the 1800s, this was a bustling port, as busy as Sydney Harbour. It was also lined with cedar trees. Now, the locals have loved telling me that the wood from those trees made it all the way to the UK. In fact, they were turned into the dining table, that massive big table at Windsor Castle for the Queen. How splendid.
This once booming town on the Hunter River is now a living museum with its heritage buildings and hidden laneways. Best of all, it's only 2 hours north of Sydney and half an hour inland from Newcastle.
Chances are you've held a bit of Morpeth's history in your hands, maybe thrown it into a kid's lunchbox or dunked it into a cup of tea. Arnott's. I'm talking about Arnott's biscuits. And it was here, back in the 1860s, that their story began.
It's a mighty claim to fame, but one that this small town definitely lives up to.
Smells good in here. Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, very good. I heard the word on the street is I have to order the sourdough almond croissant. Is that a yes?
Very delicious, yeah.
Thanks to Alison and Steve Arnott. Yes, they are the descendants of the original Arnott family. The ancestral tradition lives on.
Well, the Arnotts were here back in the 1860s when it was a fully functioning bakery.
Yeah.
And it has changed over time, but when we purchased the building back in 2003, we set about to restore it to its former glory.
Oh my God. I thought I was only a Scotch finger guy, but it's gone right to the top of the list.
Upstairs from the bakery is one of Morpeth's most historic accommodation options.
As you expect, the rooms are named after the family favourites. For the stock standard, run-of-the-mill person, the Sayo Suite's for you. If you're a bit more fancy, maybe you'd enjoy the Monte Carlo room. Or if you're anything like me, a bit coconutty and jammy, it's all about the Vovo.
Sayo is a studio, while Vovo and Monte Carlo each sleep 4. The Vovo has some very unique furnishings, but being the penthouse, the Monte Carlo is the most spacious.
Welcome to the historic Arnott Bakehouse in Morpeth, and today we're going to do a sourdough class. We're going to teach you how to make sourdough bread.
The building not only serves as a bakery and accommodation, it's also a cooking school.
The oven just there behind you is where William Arnott started making biscuits and bread back in the 1800s.
As the great-great-great-grandson of William Arnott, Steve knows a thing or two about baking.
He would have been making ship's biscuits and bread, sourdough bread. So the recipe, you know, it's not a lot in it. It's flour and water and a little bit of salt. The culture is really where you really get your results from. If you've got a good culture, you get a good bakery.
There's something pretty special about learning baking techniques in the former workspace of William Arnott himself. With its wide streets and relaxed vibe, Morpeth is well equipped for a lazy stroll. But there's one stop I've been told is a must, and that's Miss Lily's Lollies.
Now, obviously, this is the perfect place to bring the kids, okay? But it's also, the perfect place to keep them away from, because your credit card will be maxed out, you'll have sleepless nights, it'll be nuts. There's some cool stuff from TV, the Seinfeld Junior Mints, there's some classics. I'm definitely going to need a basket.
Just across the lane is another Morpeth staple, the Ginger Beer Factory.
Now, I love ginger beer, so I thought being at the Ginger Beer Factory, it would be rude if I didn't see how it was all made first.
Yes.
And then we get to taste. So, Trevor, how do you do it?
Okay, it's made here. We just have 3 ingredients: sugar, brewed ginger beer, and a little bit of citric acid.
Continuing tradition is a top priority here in Morpeth.
We put the aluminium cap on, and then this is our capping machine. Very old-fashioned, spins the cap on. And then all we have to do is label it and then taste it. Pour a little bit in the glass, and we just top it up with soda water, because this is made as a syrup or cordial, which means it'll keep for up to 12 months just in the cupboard. There we have putting the carbonation back in it, so putting the fizz back in it.
Yeah.
And that'll taste like old-fashioned brewed ginger beer that your grandmother made.
Do I have to do anything like this or swirl it around, or can I just
not with
taste?
this. Just drink it. That's the object. It's refreshing.
Oh, so refreshing.
Gives a little bit of heat in the back palate. Yes.
You don't mess with the classics.
No, you don't.
And the same could be said about Morpeth itself, one of New South Wales' classic country towns.